Today, me and Thor are here to talk about the 2023 most popular duology, dare I say, Divine Rivals. Divine Rivals is the first book, Ruthless Vows is the second book. Together, they make the duology complete. Both of these books released last year, and today I'm going to be reading them. Divine Rivals is also a #1 New York Times bestseller, and it is the Goodreads Choice Awards for Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction category. And today, we're going to be reading it to see if it lives up to the expectations. So, starting with Divine Rivals, it has an average rating of 4.26 on Goodreads, and it has 274,000 plus ratings, which is a lot, and almost 50,000 reviews. Just gonna read the inside. So it says, after centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will allow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle. For her brother, the fate of mankind and love. Divine Rivals is an epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. I actually read this book back in December. Oh, hello. Hello. Sorry, sir. I actually read this book back in December, a couple weeks before Ruthless Vows was set to release, and I never read Ruthless Vows when it came out. So it's now February and I need to reread this. I do remember bits and pieces of what happens in this book. I feel like I remember most of it. It's not a very long fantasy. It's an easily digestible length. I mean, I think it's like 300 some pages, 400 pages. 353 pages. But regardless, I want to get back into the world before I read Ruthless Vows. So let's just get right into it. Oh my gosh, I just took the dust jacket off and look how cute. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. And it like feels cool. I didn't notice that. I bought this book so long ago and I never removed the dust jacket and it's so pretty. Aww. Okay, let me look at the other one and see. Aww. You may not be a goddess, but nor am I a god. Despite our mundane lives, perhaps we make our own magic with words. That's so cute. Aww. So far, this book just gives me such warm and fuzzy vibes, and I love it so much. It just makes me so happy. The two main characters, the female main character and the male main character, are both writers. And the way they write and the way they write to each other, because they exchange letters back and forth, and I just love the way they write. I love the way Rebecca Ross writes. It feels so fairy tale, and I'm kind of floating in the clouds and there's just warm glowy light surrounding me. That's how it feels to read this book. And you guys, like I said, I read Divine Rivals before, and immediately jumping back into it, that's how I feel again. It's in an industrial age era. I honestly love it. It's trains, it's radios, it's typewriters, and I'm here for it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Should I tell you guys what I rated it before? Well, it's on my Goodreads, so anyone can see it. I gave it a 4 stars before. We'll see if that holds up. That's what I'm saying. And it might change. It might be changing, and I'm not even that far in the book. I'm literally on page 25. And I'm already like in this daydream. of this world. And what's so nice about this is the world isn't complicated. It's not like a high epic fantasy. There's definitely magic and it's definitely a fantasy. It's just not super complicated world building. It's not the main focus, which is very nice. It's just very refreshing. I'm gonna keep reading and we'll talk soon. Yeah, warm, fuzzy, glowy light. I love their banter. It's so cute. Reading this book, you saw, it just makes me smile. And it's so beautiful how it does that. I love a book that does that. Hello, beautiful people. Okay, here. The culprit. Yeah, Thor, you just knocked him over. What do you have to say about that? Okay, anyways, I am feeling tired. It's gloomy. I want to rest. So we're gonna rest and read. I made it to page 121. And so that's part 2 now, news from afar. And you guys, look at how cute the part pages are. I think I showed the first one, but I'm like obsessed with them. They're so cute. And I am just in a daydream reading this story. It is so cute. It's so easy to digest. It's so easy to connect with the characters. And I just love them so much already. And we're literally 120 pages into one book. It feels like it's going by fast. The romance is budding and we're meeting more characters, which I like is that in a romance is when you don't just have the 2 main characters. You have multiple characters, and I guess this is a romance fantasy, so it makes sense why there's more characters in this book. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the other characters that we've met, and again, feel like I'm in a daydream, feel like I'm in a sunflower field, even though it's kind of about war, but still, I'm just like lost in the characters' words, and I'm lost in Rebecca Ross's words, because technically they're her words, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so let's read and rest together on this gloomy day. I'm tired. I just want to lay down. I just want to read, and that's what we're gonna do. Page 121. I don't know how many times I can say that. Let's read, shall we? Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I feel like this book is going by so fast because I just read House of Flame and Shadow, which is over 800 pages. And this is like a 350 page book. So I feel like I'm already so far into it, even though I haven't been reading it for that long. And it's just really refreshing to just have a shorter book after such a long book too. And I think that's interesting how different books come into your life at different times. Does that make sense? It's kind of like when people come into your life at certain times, it's like books come into your life at certain times. I just finished this like 5 minutes ago and I'm so sad. I am going to be changing my rating. I think I rated it a 4 stars before, but I think like it was more of like a 4.25, 4.5, but I'm giving this 5 stars. It deserves it. It 100% deserves it. If I had to say, this book feels like the color yellow, a breath of fresh air. That's just what this book feels like. And it made me so happy. I was smiling so much. There's just like a dog running through my backyard. Hey, puppy. I think it's the neighbors. Anyways. Yeah, I'm upgrading it to 5 stars. And you know, again, I said this before, but it feels like you're being bathed in sunshine when you read it. And I just have to read some quotes from this book that I highlighted. I highlighted so many quotes in this book, and normally I'm not a big highlighter because I don't like to ruin books, but I highlighted so many. Like, I don't think it ruins books, but I just like a crisp, clean book, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let me read some quotes. I don't want to wake up when I'm 74 and only realize I haven't lived. Your grief will never fully fade. It will always be with you, a shadow you carry in your soul, but it will become fainter as your life becomes brighter. And the characters, they have so much depth, and it's such a short book. It's like 350 pages. And what was this word? Transcendent. I am like going to be using that in my vocabulary from now on because of this book. It was just fabulous. Oh, there's one more that I want to read. It's just like good reminders that this book brings. You are worthy of love. You are worthy to feel joy right now, even in the darkness. Don't come for me. I'm so sad. Okay, so this is the second book, which I'm going to be starting right now, and I just need to know what happens. Like, I need to know. I can't do unfinished series. I mean, I'm sure I could, but it's just so painful. But now with the ending of this, I can just easily do that, which I'm going to do right now. Also, can I just say, I just said that book feels like the color yellow. This is what it feels like. Right here. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna read. Perfection. That's what that is. And some, what is it, like the breaking the fourth wall? That's what we're doing right now. Hello, it is the next day and it's a little later, and I thought I'd update you guys on my progress. So as you saw, I made it to part 3, which is kind of crazy, but part 2 is really short and this is a 4-part book. So I'm about halfway through page 192, chapter 27, and I am just flying by. I literally started it yesterday. Granted, it's a weekend, so that makes sense. Anyways, I love Iris so much more in this book. She is so fierce and I'm enjoying her character so much, and I'm enjoying Roman's character too. I'm so glad we get both perspectives in this book. It's so enjoyable to see. It's also fun to see the villain and get a little sneak into his plan. And I am stressed, I'm happy, I'm excited for these characters and what they're doing, and I know the author's done their job. I mean, granted, if I picked up the second one, the author's done their job pretty well. I'm connected to the characters. I'm excited, like I said, giddy, stressed with what they're going through. So yes, I've connected to the characters, obviously, and you know, Rebecca Ross did her job well. She did her job well, I have to say. This one, there's definitely more action in this one than the last one. The last one did have action, and this one is a little bit longer, but only by like 50 pages. And for a fantasy book, pretty short considering I just read 3 800+ page fantasy books. Anyways, again, breath of fresh air, and yeah, I'm gonna read some more because I can, because it's a Sunday. So yeah, unsure what the rating will be. Unsure. Okay, anyways, let's get reading. What? Why? guys, I just finished part 3. I'm stressing over fictional characters again. Are we surprised? No. Like I said earlier that I couldn't figure out my rating, but I'm leaning towards like a 4.5, 5. So we'll have to see how this last part is to sway me. But yeah, I like it so much. I'm like, what's gonna happen? There's so much more going on than we've realized. The book has, like, the world has gotten bigger, and yeah, I love that about sequels. The sequel is definitely, I can already say this, not a flop. It's definitely a good sequel, because you never, sometimes with sequels, especially movies, but I feel like sometimes with books too, is that the sequel flops. But no flopping here, okay? There's no fish flopping. This book is amazing. Okay, so 67%, page 291. Let's get into it. I was gonna say this earlier, but like I am enchanted by this book. And the series name is called Letters of Enchantment, and I am indeed enchanted. It's doing its job, you guys. It's doing its job. I am so sad, and let's just take a moment to acknowledge that sadness and accept it for what it is. I obviously finished the books. I finished this last night, Divine Rivals, or Ruthless Vows, the second one, and yeah, I'm really sad. I mean, I'm sad because it's over, and I'm happy because it happened. I just loved this story and their journey. It was so enticing. It was beautifully told. They tackled grief, love, loss, war. It was beautiful, and I am sad that it's over. Like I've said 500 times. I'm very sad that it's over. Thank you, Rebecca Ross. I just have to say this, for creating this world and these characters. It was so beautiful. If you are a fantasy reader and wanting to get into romance, this is a great start. If you are a romance reader and wanting to get into fantasy, these books are great options to like dip your toe in the other genre. It's not a complicated world. The romance isn't super in your face. It's there. There's action. There's, again, like I said, love, loss, human emotions, and it's so enjoyable to read, and the characters were enjoyable. I loved it. So last time we talked last night, I was saying that I wasn't sure if it's a 4.5 or a 5, and it's a 5. It's a 5. Like, this book is 5 stars. This book is 5 stars. I'm super scared I'm going to be in a reading slump now because I've read so many 5-star books already this year. I don't know what to read. Please, I need help, because I'm gonna be in a slump. I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. I finished this last night, like a couple hours before I went to bed, and normally I read right before I go to bed, so I was trying to find a new book, and I was just like trying to read a bunch of books, and I couldn't get into it. And now I'm sad. Okay, that's it. Again, 5 stars. Read these books. They're so good. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!